Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel. Peter likes books. And I was just driving around today, doing some errands and stuff, and so I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do a little bit of a book vlog today. So I wanted to talk about, well, not necessarily book slumps, but this book that I am reading right now. I'm currently reading the July book for a true crime book club called The Lost Girls by John Glatt. And it's about the three young girls that were kidnapped by Ariel Castro in Cleveland, Ohio. And I don't really know much about this case. I didn't know much about this case before I started reading the book. And, you know, it had been suggested to Mel and I, my partner for the True Crime Book Club. Go check out below. Her Instagram is listed below, Ginger Gonzo Reads, and you can follow her, and she's constantly posting stuff about books and whatever. But anyway, I did not know much about this case before I started reading this book. Like, I had heard about it. I knew about these women. I had seen, like, clips, you know, on news things before, but I really didn't know a whole lot about it. And so I always try to read the books for the book club like the week of the book club, so it's like fresh in my mind. And because sometimes, like, if I've just read a book, I kind of like, when I'm on to the next book, I kind of forget sometimes what, like, the specifics of that book. Like, my good Judy Tanya Jean, she literally started and finished 2 books in one day and started a third. She just started that book Paper Palace, which I got as well, and I haven't started it yet. But Tanya Jean read 3 books, but started 2 books and started and finished 2 books and started her 3rd book for the day. And we just got back from the pool, and I said, or we just left the pool, and I said, what are you gonna do? And she goes, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna put on dry clothes and, like, take a nap. And she'll end up reading a book is what she'll do till 2 o'clock in the morning, and then she'll call me and tell me how great the book was. But anyway, so I started listening to this book, I think, on Sunday after I had finished A Good Day for Chardonnay by Dorinda Jones, which is the sequel to A Bad Day for Sunshine, and it's in the Sunshine Vikram series, and it's so good. I loved it. But I'm like reading, so Mel had told me, she said, this is a really hard book to read, I'm just gonna tell you. She's like, I would read part of it and then I would have to, like, stop and then go back and read it. It's just, like, really, really difficult. And I think she listened to it on Audible as well. So I'm listening to the book. If you don't know the background story, well, first of all, the live stream for the book club is on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this upcoming Sunday, which I don't know what that is, the 6th or something. But no, today's the 5th, so 6th, 7th, 8th, I think the 8th. So I'm listening to this book, and, you know, we've read other books about people that have been kidnapped. We read the J.C. Duggard books, and this book reminds me a lot of I think it was called Tell No One or If You Tell by Greg Olson. There's pieces of it that remind me of that. It is extremely sadistic, and this man is like, I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's so hard to read this book, and my plan was to have it done by last night to get into another cozy mystery to kind of, like, clear my mind of all of this stuff. But I'm like, I can only listen to, like, a half an hour of it at a time. And does it ever happen to you? Like, when you're reading a book, you can only listen to a little bit of it at a time, and then you have, like, and it's a book that you want to finish. Like, I have to say, I feel like it's an important book to read, to know what happened to these women. And also, I mean, it's our pick for a True Crime Book Club, so I have to finish it because I want to be able to talk about it. But man, it's so hard to sit there and just listen to just the cruelty that these women suffer. I mean, unbelievable cruelty that these women suffered. And not only that, I mean, I'm, like, at a part right now, I'm really not that far into it, honestly. I'm at 4 hours and 9 minutes out of 11 hours and 31 minutes. So I'm listening to it at 2 times 5 speed. So I think I have, like, 3 hours and 10 minutes left or something of it. And it's at a part in the book where and you don't really know, you know, his daughters have accused their stepfather of, you know, really serious allegations, and they're in like this court trial and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's just like this unbelievable world. And these women, like, especially like the first one, I was telling Tanya in the pool, like Amanda Berry, who was kidnapped, and she's like probably out of all of them, I think the one that has probably gotten the most news coverage. And he kind of like in his mind thinks of her as his wife. And like I said, I'm not that far into the book, but he like pits her against the other two girls. And as the point where I'm at right now, this Michelle Knight, the first one that was abducted, she definitely gets the worst of all of it. And I don't know, major trigger warning. There's a lot of essay in it, like daily. And it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable to think that these women lived through this, you know? And I really want to finish the book so that I can watch some video clips of like interviews with them. I know that like 2 of them are really close still to this day. I don't know, it's just unbelievable to read. And so like I'm kind of like, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm like in a reading slump. Like I have all these books that I want to read, but I can't finish this book. Like I just cannot get through it. It's like I read like I listen to 20 or 30 minutes of it, and then I'm like, I gotta listen to music or something, you know? And I cannot remember the last time. I think when I was listening to Columbine by David Cullen, I felt that way reading that book. Like that was a really difficult book for me to read. And also when I read, in regards to like true crime, also when I read I Am God by the DC Shooter, like that was really hard for me to read too. And I don't know why that one was. I think because so much of it was focused on the victims and the stories of the survivors or the victims' families. So much of it was focused on that just to hear how they were personally affected. And I think that's why it's so important in true crime to really discuss the victim stories and to not glorify or focus the attention on the murderer or the killer or the abductor or whatever. And I will say this, John Glatt, this is our second book that we've read by John Glatt. The first one was about Chris Watts. We were in the pool today and there was this guy, and I said to Tanya, I said 2 things about this guy right here. He was like older, he was like with his daughter, and he had a really like, he had one of those like swim shirts on, you know? And he was a good looking older gentleman and had like white hair and whatever. But I said 2 things about that guy, Tanya. One of them I said is that man is like really good looking, and she turned around, she was like, he is good looking. And I said the second one, which is scary, is he looks like Chris Watts. And she goes, what does that statement say? I said, I know, right? So anyway, but I think it's so important to pay homage to the victims and whatever. And this is the second book by John Glatt that we've read. And I feel like in both books, he's done a really great job, you know, focusing a lot of attention on the victim stories and really giving a background history of them too. Especially in this one, he really talks a lot about like Amanda Berry's mother and Gina DeJesus's father, or the family and father. But, so I don't know, I'm like, part of me is like, I just want to drive around for 3 hours and finish this book and just get it done, because it's like so much, you know? Anyway, the live stream is on Sunday, so I will definitely have it done by then. But if you're looking for a good cozy mystery series to read, I would highly recommend the Sunshine Vikram series by Dorinda Jones. There's 2 books out in the series already. I just finished the second one. It just came out. And something just came out this week, too, that I got. I just bought some, I just cannot stay off of Audible. I just keep on buying Audible books. There was something else that I bought this week. that I'm like really excited to read. I don't know what it is. I can't remember. But anyway, I'm gonna do an Audible haul this week and talk about all the books I bought on Audible, because I have bought quite a few books on Audible this summer. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here now, but I just wanted to see what other people, before we get to the live stream on Sunday, if you're part of the book club, or if you've read this book, put in your comment section below, and maybe we'll, you know, like take some talking points from your comments to, if you have certain things you'd like to say, put it in the comment section below, and then we can take those as maybe talking points for Mel and I to talk about on Sunday, and, you know, start topics to talk about with this. So anyway, I just want to get on here and share my thoughts and my feelings about this book so far. So I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.